Hi, welcome back to another edition of Kiwi Steve's Global Kitchen. So today, well actually it's the evening because it's getting quite dark now, and normally I spoke to you I've done my shows in the afternoon, but today I thought I'd do it in the evening, and anyway it's Friday night. So what am I going to be cooking? One of my favorite cakes slash pudding, because it's not really a cake, but it's called pineapple upside down cake, and it's extremely tasty, and I've always loved this one, and it's very nice with a little bit of cream just laced around the bottom, well maybe a bit more than that. Pineapple upside down cake. And also we have part 2 of Panic in the Skies. So that you might find interesting. So firstly I've got my little tin, and I've already just put some with a bit of butter and a bit of greaseproof paper, and I've just put some butter around the outside to stop it from sticking. I've already put the oven on to I suppose fan forced, and the oven is on about 200. It won't take long to cook, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's not too long, and it's very nice. So we're going to have I've already melted the butter, so about 60-70 grams, maybe a little bit more of butter, and we're going to mix it with 1 cup of brown sugar. So I've already done a little bit here, but I need to put a little bit more of the butter with it, because it was just a little bit too dry, a bit too stiff. So we need to give it a bit of a mix. That's looking a bit better. So I'm looking a bit happier about that. It's going to be easier to pour. Here we go. We need to just layer that around the bottom. So that's basically what we're gonna put the pineapple in. So we have one tin of pineapple slices, and they're the round ones. I'll just show you. See? Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know how they get the pineapples with the holes in them. It's magic. So I've drained the pineapple juice out of that, because we're going to come back and use that as part of the mix. So what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of plain flour around the bottom of our baking tin. So just put that around, there we go. Right. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to put our mixture of the brown sugar with about 60-70 grams of melted butter. So we're not going to use a fork, are we, for that? Let's just pour a little bit of this around. There we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Whoops. So we've mixed that around. Now I'll use another spoon just to spread it around a little bit, because that's going to be our layer, or our base, for the pineapple. I'll just show you that. There we go. Can you see that? So get our little pineapple. Oh, almost got away. I could be in the slips for the New Zealand cricket team. I almost dropped that. So we're going to layer our pineapple around the bottom. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Come on. It's like catching fish, isn't it? I don't want to go into the boat very quickly. Come on. That's it. There you go. That's a good little piece of pineapple. Now let's get this next one out. There we go. So I've layered those around, as you can see. And now, so that is the tasty part. And now we're going to have the filler. So the oven's been on, so it's warming up a little bit. So now what we're going to do is mix up in a bowl. It's a very quick recipe, this. About 1 3/4 cups of self-raising flour. I need some help. I should have got Murray. He's sleeping in the other room. So we'll put our self-raising flour in there. And no, I'm not going to sift it. 1 3/4. Yeah, that's about right. Thereabouts, it doesn't really matter too much. So give that a bit of a mix. Now, another 50 grams of butter. So it's soft. I've had this butter out for a little bit, so it's kind of soft. Maybe I could put it in the microwave. I don't know, let's have a look. We'll put that in. That there. So we have our butter in there. Get the little, I'll give that a bit of a mix around. Oh, there we go. Let's just put a little bit more of the melted butter in there. And we're going to mix with this. The important thing is to really try and get the lumps out of it. We'll put a little bit more, there we go, the rest of the melted butter. Put that in. 1 egg. So we'll put the egg in. There we go. And continue to whisk it. There we go. Now we have to, it's still a bit, the viscosity. The viscosity. It's a printing term, the viscosity of the ink. Well, the viscosity of the cooking mix, the baking mix. It's a bit thick at the stage. So now we're going to put in our pineapple juice. So let's just put a little bit in there and give it a mix. That's not looking too bad. It's coming up good. It's important to have it just so it's, you know, it's just starting to run a little bit. It's kind of a smooth viscosity. It's not too thick. We don't want it dry, do we? It's not much fun with a dry cake. That's why I always like eggs in a cake. I don't know. These eggless cakes they don't do it for me. And you know, sometimes you get muffins. You get muffins at the bakery and places, and they don't put many eggs in there, if any. Just, you know, it doesn't taste quite as nice. You have to buy butter and put butter in there. Put the rest of the pineapple juice from the tin, and that's not looking too bad. Still a little bit thick, so I'm going to put in a little bit of milk. This is the little secret, see? We've got to get that viscosity right. So let's just give that a little mix. Now that's looking a lot better. So we shall now pour our mix into our tin and cover our pineapple. I've already had my dinner, so this is going to be my dessert. And I bought my cream, so I'm looking forward to my dessert. Oh, I'm going to have to work very hard in the gym this weekend. Oh, we don't want that. There we go. So, that will rise. Not looking too bad. There we go. Upside down pineapple cake. put that in the oven for 20 minutes. So while that is cooking, and I'm not going to talk for 20 minutes because you'll probably all just run away. Panic in the skies. Well, funny I should say that because only just earlier this week, a Chinese 737-800, 6 years old Boeing. I quite like flying Airbus because it's more pilot controlled as well, but the Boeings seem to be, they're all more automated. So the plane took off on its way to Guangzhou province, and they were like halfway there, an hour and a half out of Guangzhou province, flying over the hills at 22,000 feet. And then all of a sudden, it dropped thousands of feet in 8 seconds. Could you imagine that? You know, they probably was on automatic, you know, and everybody was relaxed. The pilot was probably sleeping. The other pilot was probably eating. And they were just sort of, you know, it's cruise control. What can go wrong? I don't know. The black box will tell us. Flying. I love flying. Well, so the poor beggars, the poor souls on board, 180 or something, I don't know, plummets down at an incredible rate of knots, something like 800 miles an hour or something, or 800 kilometers an hour, almost breaking the sound barrier. And it gets about halfway down, and it seemed to right itself. They got control of it. And then, of course, well, you probably saw the YouTube video, or the like I saw, and the end was not good. But you know, that reminded me of an encounter that I had myself. It was a routine flight from Kuala Lumpur to Chennai in India, and everything was fine. You know, we got up to the altitude and we're flying along, and we'd had our nice Indian curry, chicken or vegetarian. I can't remember what I had, but it was either vegetarian or chicken anyway. So the pilot then announces that we're kind of like, you know, beginning our descent. So could you please get ready and fasten your safety belts? Well, I already had mine fastened all the way through the flight as I'm looking out the window. And so we're coming into Chennai, a little bit, not too far, maybe 4 minutes from the airport. I'm getting all excited thinking about it. You don't forget these things, do you? And the next thing, my gosh, talk about clear air, like there was no oxygen, no air underneath us. And the plane, like that Chinese plane, it just dropped, whoop, like that. And I don't know for how long, it seemed like eternity. And the noise, all the Indian people on the plane, well, I was shocked because it just happened so suddenly. And fortunately, everybody had their seatbelts on. And then all of a sudden it stopped again, but there was a great commotion from the passengers, all the Indian passengers on the flight. And I tell you what, have you ever seen a whiter Indian than me? I have. A whole plane load of them. And there were people in front, I didn't like that at all. There were people in front of me vomiting into the bags, and all and the oxygen things fell out from the cabin and from the ceiling. My gosh. And anyway, it gets even funnier. So there's people vomiting and people still gasping, and the plane's coming into land. And here's the funny part. Here's the real funny part. Well, I couldn't do anything because I couldn't get out. I was stuck by the window. So really, being a safety conscious flying enthusiast like myself, I'm torn between being by the window so I get a beautiful view flying over Asia and looking down at the islands and the boats and coming into Chennai and all the beautiful orange lights everywhere, or safety, sitting by the aisle. So you know how to get out very quickly if you have to. Anyway, so the plane the plane comes in and it taxis and it's going along, it's slowing down, going along the runway, and I tell you what, I've never seen anything so amusing in all my life. All the passengers had jumped out of their seats because they couldn't wait to get off the plane. The plane's still maybe doing 100 kilometers or something down the runway, and they're all grabbing the overhead lockers, and the air hostesses are telling them, sit down, get down, sit down. And they weren't even listening. They just wanted to get off that plane as quick as they could. And I understood how they felt. Well, the plane finally stopped, and literally it was like they were all cramming to get to the front. It was like we used to have a game when I was a kid called Bull Rush. Maybe some of you my age might remember that from New Zealand and Australia, maybe even England. And so Bull Rush, you'd be like 50 kids on that side and 50 kids on this side, and you've got to rush through and try and get through everybody to get to the other side. And I enjoyed that because I could run fast. Anyway, so it was like that, and they're grabbing their luggage and they're running to get out of the plane. So anyway, I just sat there because there's nothing I could do. So that was my experience of a sudden plunge to terra firma. I didn't enjoy it at all, and I was very happy to get off that plane, believe you me. So, how long have we been going? 5 minutes. So wait, hold on, hold your breath for 1 second. I've got a surprise. Here we go. That was quick, wasn't it? 1 pineapple upside down cake. And I better not tip it too much because it might plummet down to terra firma and break up into little pieces. So there you have it. Have fun trying to cook this. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed my little story. And next time we will have Panic in the Skies Part 3. A terrorizing experience. So take care, and we'll see you next time on Kiwi Steve's Global Kitchen. And if you remember, please click on the subscribe button. It'd be nice to have some company with a few more people. Take care. Bye-bye.